So why is Sherlock's brother named Microsoft?
I don't think it's Microsoft. I thought it was Minecraft?
Minecraft? Are you sure it's not Mighty Mitochondria?
Powerhouse of Great Britain.
The powerhouse of Great Britain? Something like that?
Something like that.
All right. Hey guys. Welcome.
Is the mic on?
The mic is on. Yes. I'm pretty sure the microphone is on. If it's not, you guys are going to be watching a long bit of us just sitting on the couch and not knowing what we're saying at all. So in celebration of that, I'm going to cuss a lot. All right. Hey guys, welcome to our next video. We're going to do Steven Universe to the Nines tonight. We're going to start off by talking about last Steven Universe to the Nines. We made some predictions. I predicted that in the Steven Bomb 3.0 we would see the moment when each of the gems took the star, and I was completely right in that we will see that moment, we just didn't see it then.
I predicted that we would see more of the homeworld gems. Yay, Peridot!
Mostly wrong.
I honestly thought, I said we were going to see a new fusion. It was going to be named Sardonyx, and that it was going to be Pearl and Garnet. I kind of missed the mark on that one.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, it was Garnet and
like
Pearl.
that?
Right.
I promise I'll put more effort into the videos.
Well,
but
you will have a chance to redeem yourself at the end of this video when we talk about the Diamond Authority and what they're up to.
But for now, it's
3 things.
By 3 people.
about Steven Universe.
That's right. In Steven Universe.
To the nines.
I thought you were going to look at me and I was going to look at you and we were going to do a dramatic turn. I was all like looking at you. I did a weird like vulture bird head thing and everything.
Right.
So when we do the pose, right, we're going to do the Charlie's Angel pose.
Right.
And it's going to be Steven Universe. And then we need to have some sort of like explosion or something like that. And then like there's like to the nines in there.
Actually, I don't think I can pull that off.
We'll see.
All right, so the first thing we want to talk about is the moment during the series that surprised you the most. Not necessarily during the last Steven Bomb, just in the entire series. You're watching the show and something happened and you went, I can't believe that just happened, or it seemed like it came out of nowhere. For me, it was when it was Rose's scabbard. Steven is trying to reach Pearl, and he makes this jump and he misses the jump and he falls down, and Pearl runs over to the edge and she looks down, and as soon as she sees that he's not, smashed into a bunch of little pieces, she just turns around and walks away.
Yeah.
Doesn't help him, doesn't do anything, it was just like, it was like, but Steven needs you. And she just, at that point, she just didn't care. And I thought that was an interesting, that was a moment that I thought really surprised me in the way that they did that.
Something that surprised me was in Ocean Gem, at the end of it, when Steven healed Lapis, she got wings.
Steven is Red Bull.
Apparently.
Steven and Red Bull, they give you wings. Yeah, that was kind of a like, hey, and then all of a sudden, ta-da!
Yeah, and apparently they're capable of like intergalactic travel as well, over a very short period of time.
Right. Don't try that with Red Bull.
For me, what always surprises me, and this is a reoccurring thing, so I don't know why I keep being surprised, is Steven getting upset. Whenever Steven gets upset, it always kind of like, right hooks me, left hooks me, whatever the jab that you don't see coming. Like in the diner scene where he just, throws the plate on the ground, storms out. When he's in the van with Greg and he punches the dashboard in full capacity or whatever they're doing, and he's like, this place is full.
Seriously, when did you even have a cow?
All that stuff, whenever he has an outburst like that, it raises the hairs on my neck. It's like, whoa.
Well, I mean, it's a very emotionally charged, dramatic moment whenever that happens, because...
And I think the reason I feel that way is because for the rest of the characters, they're seeing it come out of left field. They're like, whoa. because that's not how Steven usually is. So when he puts his foot down, it's kind of like, take a step back, you know?
So which character,
Secondary
secondary character, do you really want to find out more about?
Well, for me, I think it has to be Petey, because we honestly haven't gotten any character development from him yet.
Don't patronize me, sir.
From the series so far,
And he's kind of a little brother, and you're kind of a little sister, and you kind of identify with Petey a little bit.
Because you work so hard. Whenever you have chores to support the family.
Well, considering the rising tide, crashing skies.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of us.
No.
Hey,
What?
I'm here for you, bro.
Fine, let me go.
You can't make up drama this good.
Yeah, yeah, that was.
For me,
Although Parker's special effects are better.
at least at one point.
Yes.
I want to see more of Mr. Smiley.
Mr. Smiley.
Mr. Smiley.
Arcade?
Yeah, the
Okay,
arcade guy.
okay.
Yeah, that's a big deal. He's an R&B singer. He has an arcade. Somehow, I want to know more about him and his shenanigans and the Crystal Gem.
How do you go from being an
R&B singer to owning a carnival and arcade? I want to see more of Mr. Smiley.
For me, I think it's Nana Coffee.
Man.
I just, I love old people because I'm gonna be an old people pretty soon.
I thought it was Kofi.
Nana Coffee?
I mean,
Yeah, I
probably
think you said
all
coffee.
Oh, because I want to know more about my coffee. I need to wake up. Nana Coffee, I would like to know, like, because she seems like one of those, like she knew Bill Dewey when he was, when she was a little girl.
Yeah.
I knew Bill Dewey, and I just I like to see the old people. And, and I honestly think they've set this up so that we're gonna see something like that in the future.
There are gonna be episodes about each
the old people,
right.
like the crystal gems in the old town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember
there was a lot of interaction, obviously, that for a period of time there was a huge amount of interaction. And probably like at the founding of the town there was some interaction, and then when Greg kind of pulled Rose out and
they kind of like reemerged
back into the town. So it's,
you always say you're going to be the crocodile,
but you never commit.
That I want to see that. I want to see that story.
That's what you want to see.
I want to see. Yes, I want to see that story in the next Steven Bomb. Rebecca, I'm looking at you. All right.
Yeah, if she sees this video, our channel's probably gonna get shut down.
No, we love Steven Universe. This is us loving Steven Universe.
Sorry, not if Rebecca Sugar. If the Cartoon Network lawyers.
Well, no,
two different people with
we're not
different
monetizing
agenda.
any of the stuff with the episodes in it. So
all right,
we're fine. All right. So that brings us to our last thing. Our last thing is, what is the Diamond Authority up to? So we want to know what you think. What do we think that the Diamond Authority is up to? And this is one of those things that probably doesn't have a really easy answer. So we're going to look at some. Is that still recording? Yeah, it's still recording. Okay. New camera. I'm still kind of freaking out on. So it's not an easy answer. It's not a straightforward kind of thing. At some point there were 4, and now there are 3. And Rose, the evidence is that Rose was part of the Diamond Authority. And there's a lot of evidence. I joked about this when we first started doing this, but there's a lot of evidence that Rose is the bad guy. Rose created this kind of offshoot and led an uprising and a civil war in a time when there was something else going on that the Diamond Authority was trying to do. And I don't know if they were just trying to take over the galaxy or if they were trying to win a war. My favorite pet theory is that the gems have lost the ability to reproduce, and that there's something that they're trying to figure out a way where they can reproduce. And unfortunately, the only thing that they have right now is this kindergarten system, which sucks the life out of all of the whatever planet they put it on. So I think in some cases, Rose could be seen as the bad guy. And the other thing that we need to look at on this, part of the Diamond Authority, is that Rose failed.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they're trying to do, Rose is trying to stop them, and she didn't.
Mm-hmm. They're still out there. They're still doing their thing. Although we can see a couple things. I know there's popular theory, which I am partial to, that the temple they went in the strawberry fields was one of the diamonds. Was it White Diamond? I think.
It was her temple?
No.
It was actually White Diamond.
Yes, it was actually White Diamond. We see this massive structure created to keep this gem, and we know that the structure retreated back into the gem when it was found, and one of the things that happened is the last scene we see is the totem face going from frowny face to smiley face as the gem is released.
Okay.
So we're not sure what's going on there, but I think that in the war, the Rose led, the Diamond Authority was severely weakened. In some aspect, I do agree that
At the very
Rose
least,
failed,
very least, it's 75% of what it was, because now Rose is no longer a part of it.
I think it's even more than that. I think it's at least 50% gone, or as much as there's only one diamond left. The reason I think this is because the only activity we've seen is Peridot. It's the only ship, the only gem coming to check up on the clusters. We've only seen one kindergarten get checked up on. We haven't seen any other gems come to the planet. We've seen the Red Eye come, which was Peridot, checking up on the planet. We saw Peridot come, which was Peridot, checking up on the planet. So why is no one else coming? What's going on? Either there's two diamonds still fighting, or Rose crippled them to the point where they can't travel there anymore, something like that, because they destroyed all of the galaxy warps. Even though we see that there's ways that they can travel there quickly without the galaxy warps, we know that
Well, quickly is relative also, and we know it's been 5,000 years since the rebellion. But the other thing is that these are rocks, and so 5,000 years to a rock is not necessarily the same as what 5,000 years would be to a human.
The reason I say quickly is simply because you see the Red Eye, and some amount of time later Peridot shows up, and some amount of time after Peridot sends a distress signal, we see within a reasonable amount of weeks a ship has shown up in the sky. So they can't travel there instantly, but they can travel there within weeks. Within a month at least.
I think though, just like time is subjective, good and evil is also subjective. So we can't really say that Rose is evil, nor can we say that the Diamond Authority is evil. And honestly, in my opinion, the Diamond Authority, well, my theory, the Diamond Authority isn't really, from the human perspective, they would be the bad guys, but I feel like what they're doing is looking out for the gem's best, what they consider to be the gem's best interest, and screw everyone else who isn't them.
Yeah, it's a very homocentric viewpoint. It's what's good for us is the most important thing, and what's good for other people, we're not as concerned about that.
We're willing to test on animals to ensure that our vaccines are safe for people. Exactly. They're willing to sacrifice the lives of humans to ensure that their people are cared for. It's the same thing.
Right, and there's a level of callousness and disregard there.
Disregard for life.
Disregard for life. But then there's also an element of they're doing what they can for their people and for their things.
So I am under the impression that the Diamond Authority, what is left of it, is not united in what needs to be done, and I don't think they ever were united. I don't think there were three diamonds that said, yeah, let's all do this, and Rose was like, nope, I think they're all vastly different with different perspectives, and they make up like a council or something like that, and they all talk. And you know, I believe.
And everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
Basically.
But does that make Rose the Fire Nation?
I don't think Rose is the Fire Nation because I don't think she was trying to share her greatness with the rest of the world.
Well, she was pretty great.
She was pretty great.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're weakened in some way, and either they don't agree and that's stopping them from coming, or they don't have the resources to, or something. Something is stopping them from coming en masse to Earth now that the war is over. Because we know that the gems know the war happened. Jasper's like, I respected her, tactics and stuff like that. They know the war is over.
Right.
They know they could come back. What's interesting is that Jasper didn't know that this was what's left of her force. So they know the war happened and it's over, but they don't have any reports or numbers on what's left of the rebels, which is weird considering they're sending people back not to check on the rebels,
but they're
to
not
check on the Earth.
Right, they're not there. The Diamond Authority isn't sending, the Yellow Diamond is not sending people to Earth to find out about Rose.
Exactly.
They're sending people to Earth for a completely different reason.
Checking on
which
the
has
clusters.
nothing to do with Rose and nothing to do with Rose's plan.
Yeah, so it's really interesting the fact that so few gems are coming, and that they don't care about the people who are left, even though they know there are rebellious gems left.
Well, and that comes back to the first point that, well, not the first point, but one of the points that I made is I don't think it's about a war. I don't think they're trying to fight a war. I think that they're trying to find some new method of reproduction, and that Rose made this avenue not viable for them to pursue. So I'm not saying there's no war, I'm just saying that
That's not what's
important to them at this time.
For me, I look at what Greg says when he's taking Steven back during the return. And he says, no such thing as a good war, kiddo. And he says, all they ever do is try to make up for what they were doing to the planet. All she ever did was try and make up for what she was doing. I'm under the impression she came along with the Force meant to harvest the life from Earth, because guess what Rose's powers are all about? Creating life. All of the ships that we saw in the last episode with Peridot all had pink gems. Those were the original ships that
Rose originally came to the Earth to do the
Rose,
program.
Pink Diamond, her people were the ones who were in charge of setting up reproduction. That's what I think, and I think that there was a point where she was like, I can't do this to this planet anymore. I've seen these people, these are wonderful, creative, super cool beings, and I can't stand taking the life from their planet, and I'm not going to do this anymore, and that's what sparked what happened. I don't think it's a fight for Earth. I think it was Rose fighting for her moral beliefs, and I bet the Diamond Authority has other places they can go and get the same stuff.
Yeah,
they don't care about Earth on anything other than just as a resource.
Yeah, and if there's other resources that are easy to get.
One of the things that I was thinking when you were talking about how nobody was checking up. Well, maybe Earth itself isn't really all that important to them.
It's not about Earth.
All right. That was 3 things
by
3 people.
That was Steven Universe.
To the nines.